Hello, this is the daily COVID update from Deccan Herald. I'm Suraksha.
I'm Akhil.
On the bulletin today, Karnataka reports 30 new cases of COVID-19. We take a look at the latest Karnataka War Room data, and the Supreme Court asked the centre to regulate treatment costs at private hospitals. But first, a look at the national numbers from Akhil.
At the time of this recording, almost 35,000 cases have been reported from the country so far. More than 24,000 people are active carriers of the virus. Over 8,900 patients have recovered since they first tested, and the country has registered 1,150 COVID-related deaths so far. The Indian Council of Medical Research has collected more than 8 lakh samples for testing from across the country so far. India's death toll crossed the 1,000 mark last night following a huge spike, with 71 people succumbing to the viral infection in a single day. However, the center pointed out that the death rate to the disease in India was 3.17%, as against the global mortality rate of 7%. More men are succumbing to COVID-19 in India than women, according to the Health Ministry. 65% of 1,074 deaths in the country were men, while 35% were women. 78% of the deaths were due to comorbid conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and heart ailment. Among all the states, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu have the best recovery rates from COVID-19 infections. Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh are among the worst. The national average of recovery rate is more than 25%. The Karnataka also fared well on the doubling rate count, as it figures among the states where the doubling rate varies from 20 to 40 days. Maharashtra has reported 583 new cases today. With this, the state has crossed the 10,000 mark. The numbers of active cases stands at 8266, a majority of them in Mumbai. Now, the textile town of Malegaon has also emerged as one of the big hotspots with 170 cases of infections. Gujarat has reported 313 cases, and the number of active cases is 3,568. Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh continue to add more and more active cases.
Karnataka has reported 30 new cases today. Out of 314 active cases, 9 are in the ICU. The number of people discharged stands at 229. The number of deaths remains the same as yesterday at 21. Out of the 30 new cases, 14 are from Belagavi, 10 are from Bengaluru. Of the remaining 6 cases, 2 are from Vijayapura and 1 each from Dakshina Kannada, Tumkuru, Kalburgi and Davangere.
In national news, acting on a PIL, the Supreme Court has issued a notice to the centre to regulate the cost of COVID-19 treatment at private and other corporate hospitals. Corporate-owned hospitals are allegedly engaged in pandemic profiteering by charging each patient 10 to 12 lakh rupees during the national calamity. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court declined to consider another PIL, which asked that the rent that advocates pay for their office premises be lowered during the lockdown. In its ruling, which denied the PIL request, the Supreme Court said that a special dispensation cannot be given to lawyers. The court also added that there might be senior citizens whose livelihoods depend on rental income. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Home Affairs has once again asked states not to insist on separate passes at borders for the passage of cargo trucks. Following reports that states were preventing the free movement of trucks, the Union Home Secretary Ajay Bala has written to states asking them to allow trucks to pass as long as the vehicles have valid papers and the driver possesses a license.
In news from Karnataka, the state war room has released data on the COVID-19 cases reported. This includes data till 5 p.m. today. There have been 565 COVID-19 positive cases in the state. This includes 223 discharges and 21 deaths who are between the ages of 40 to 80. More men than women seem to have contracted the virus. Out of 565 cases, 171 are women. Most positive cases have been reported from BBMP limits in Bengaluru, Mysuru, Belagavi, Kalburgi, Vijayapura. Around 69% of the cases were direct contacts of the infected, 21% had an international travel history, 7% showed SARI symptoms, and 1% showed influenza-like illness. Though the majority of deaths have been senior citizens, the infection has been highest in the 20 to 30 age group. As many young people might be COVID-19 positive but asymptomatic, this is a cause for concern. In Bengaluru, out of 154 cases, only 62 showed any symptoms at all, emphasizing the need for more testing. Karnataka has done 906 tests per million population, which is slightly higher than the country, which is 768 tests per million. The state's average daily growth percentage is 5.9% and is lesser than that of the country at 13.2%. In Bengaluru, Hongasandra and Padarayanapura have the most number of cases at 28 and 21 respectively. Both have been sealed off. The cases in other wards do not exceed single digits. Meanwhile, the state war room is 5 days away from completing a new computer application which could help trace all primary and secondary COVID-19 contacts in the state within 24 hours. Presently, contact tracing can take up to 72 hours as many as 13 cases in Karnataka have incomplete patient tracing histories because field teams were unable to conclude tracking work in time. Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has said all industries located outside COVID-19 containment zones will be allowed to operate from May 4th. The announcement came amid a word of caution that the coronavirus crisis may last another couple of months. He said that industries in and around Bengaluru could start operations after waiting for 2 or 3 days more if the number of cases continue to drop in the city. Karnataka has announced it will allow a one-time interstate and inter-district movement for students and migrant workers. The transport charges, however, are the responsibility of the students and migrant labourers who wish to travel. The government will allow people from Karnataka residing in other states to return once they test negative. Liquor outlets, salons and restaurants will remain closed till May 3rd, after which the government will take a call based on directions issued by the centre. Praveen Sood, the state police chief in Karnataka, has issued a circular directing the police stations not to deploy officials and staff who are 55 years or older and suffering from pre-existing illness to COVID-19 related frontline duties, especially in public places or coronavirus hotspots. Instead, it is advised they be posted in police stations. This is to avoid police officers being infected with the virus as they were working in the frontline and attending to medical emergencies. The circular comes on the heels of a similar order in the neighbouring state of Maharashtra. The move came after COVID-19 claimed the lives of 3 Mumbai police personnel last week. All 3 were above 50. A fact-finding team sent by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare concluded their Karnataka visit today. The central team of doctors have been assessing the state's response to the pandemic. The Victoria Hospital and Suratkal quarantine facilities were declared as model practices to be followed. Mysuru screening facility was deemed to be excellent and declared that Karnataka's critical care support team initiative should be emulated by other states. Here is some relief for motorists whose vehicles have been seized during the lockdown. The city police will start the return of seized vehicles from May 1st. However, all vehicles will not be released on the same day. The police commissioner's tweet said that vehicles which were seized first will be released first. More than 50,000 vehicles have been seized across the city during the lockdown. These vehicles include cars, auto rickshaws and two-wheelers because motorists did not have a valid pass or weren't in any kind of an emergency. The COVID-19 pandemic could very well force behavioural change among Bengalurians. The government is out to impose stricter fines for spitting and littering. The city police commissioner has issued a threat to those spitting on the road, saying that they will be put behind bars. The health wing of the BBMP has already swung into action and is collecting a fine of 1,000 rupees for spitting and in some cases for littering as well. Repeat offenders will be compelled to pay 2,000 rupees. Fines are slapped on the spot with marshals and health inspectors carrying card swiping machines. Once the spot fine is paid, a receipt will be handed over then and there and habitual offenders will be put on record. A city-based citizen group had submitted a report recently which warned of possible spread of COVID-19 through sewage water and treated water. BWSSB is finally gearing up to arrest the flow of sewage from houses in Hongasandra to nearby lakes. Up to 4 million litres of sewage per day will be stopped from getting into adjacent lakes. With 21 COVID-19 positive cases, Hongasandra ward has become one of the biggest hotspots of the disease, with officials sealing off the area, fearing that cases will increase exponentially in the days to come.
Before we go, do you want to send medicine or masks to someone you care about? India Post is apparently here to your rescue, okay? For members of the Central Postal System, there is no such thing as an off day during these uncertain times. To have medicine and masks delivered right to the doorsteps of your loved ones during this lockdown, all you have to do is download the Android mobile application of the Department of Post called Post Info. Customers can also access all postal services like mail, post bank, savings bank, insurance, and financial services. After successful submission of the request, a unique reference number will be generated to enable you to track the status of the request. The app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store for Android users. That's all from Suraksha Me today. Stay safe and we'll see you tomorrow.